Oh, wait. Here we go.
I kind of like that, man. That's good. I like the clapping. Hey! Right.
Yeah.
Married with comedy.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
Broadcasting live from a highlight tree stump in the middle of no man's land. You've reached Married with Comedy with your hosts, James R. Freeman and Jeff Onyx.
Welcome, one and all. Well, one.
Welcome, the only one.
Whoever you are. Outstanding.
Boom.
Told you, as long as we got one listener, I'm in.
You like how I don't have a patch on my hat today?
And then even if we don't have a listener, I would probably still do this, you know.
If you wanted to, you can turn up your headphones.
I don't want to turn up, do I?
I don't know.
I don't want to turn them up. I'm good.
But I'm going to tell you this.
What? What happened?
I'm going to listen.
Turn your own headphones up.
I know. I'm going to listen.
You're going to listen on a different set. Gotcha.
Because I want to hear.
This is awesome. I told you how I hurt my shoulder, didn't I? I thought I told you.
You can hear the music very dimly, but it's not over. No, I mean on here.
Oh.
But that's what I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that we weren't overpowering.
Gotcha. Because of the music.
Yeah.
I really like that. Who wrote that?
I don't know. It's a ska song.
Yeah.
It's a ska song.
Listen, it sounds very Real Big Fish. So if it belongs to y'all, please don't sue us. We're just a lowly show. And I love y'all, man. So
what is that all about?
So like if it ain't y'all and you want to do our opening, we could use a sponsor of a sort.
There's me. There. That's me.
I know. I'm such a whore.
Yeah. So how was your week?
Well,
welcome
it was
to the show.
Pretty good. It was pretty good, I guess.
Jay. How you doing?
How you doing, man? I guess my week was pretty good, dude. I got to spend some time with the kids, got to spend some time with the wife, so
yeah.
That's always good.
I got to spend some time with the wife also. Not your wife though.
No. You spend time with your wife, I'll spend time with my wife.
Hi. So, yeah, I spent the week installing a sink.
Sorry.
Just to find out today, after I hooked everything up.
All right.
All of the fittings and everything were all stripped. I bought two.
So your
faucets.
Fittings didn't fit?
2 faucets and both faucets were broken.
I apologize for that right there.
And the drain was stripped, so it wasn't catching the water properly. Merkin Shama. You want to do the top down?
I like the top down. I gotta say,
top down.
Jeff, you did a great job with the top down.
I enjoy watching the top down.
Well, you know.
So that's what's up with the what's up. Yeah.
That's what it's like when you're celibate for any length of time, probably.
Yeah. So what's going on?
What's going on with me now?
Yeah, what's up?
Or what's up with the what's up? Because, I mean, you know, I think I explained what happened to my shoulder, right?
Yeah. You had something go on with you.
I'm young enough to outrun a pit bull, but I'm too old to survive it. So.
Can you believe we're on episode 12 of season 2?
How long is season 2?
I don't know, but Melissa and I have been watching. Do we get
paid time off?
We've been watching Dark Shadows, the original TV series from.
Oh, that's
from
funny.
The 60s.
My wife's been trying to get me to watch that dang movie.
But the TV series, they didn't bring the vampire into the show until like episode 200 and something, 220.
Right.
So it wasn't even about vampires.
Barnabas.
Yeah, it wasn't even about vampires until like way.
Mm-hmm. Look, man, I don't even look. You know why they did that?
No.
Because Johnny Depp sleeps in a coffin.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Barbara.
Oh, look. Of course we missed you, Mum.
Hi, Chris.
And I suddenly feel bad. I haven't called my mom yet this weekend. Well, I am putting that on my to-do list, Mom.
Put it on your to-do list.
All
Y'all,
right.
y'all hear our audio okay? You can hear us all right? Do you guys like our music that we had? See, they could, like, if we turn that up a little bit, they'd be able to hear it better. Turn it up a little.
Which one?
Number 3, 4.
3, 4.
That's way too loud, though.
You said turn it up a little bit.
A little bit.
It's crazy,
To
man.
match the other one next to it. The one see the one to the left? Yours? Number 1? Make it match number 1.
I did. You said it was too loud.
No, look at number 1.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me, man.
There.
Is that right?
9 o'clock.
Oh, I see it. I see
Boom.
the little dots right there.
Oh,
yeah.
did you hear that?
Yeah. What happened?
I
stopped.
turned. Yeah.
Oh,
You
we
guys-
can't have dead air.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't have dead air.
So
all
we
your
got
fault.
2 people paying attention to us today.
Yeah. And I was paying attention.
Hello,
on my-
Chris. By the way, I didn't get to say Chris. And,
I was paying
and I
attention
know
on my
you said GM, and that's very nice of you, sir. But you realize it's not morning.
Well, it's morning to him.
I was gonna say, where is he? Maybe it is morning.
I don't know. Maybe he works the night shift.
Well, that's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, if I offended you, Chris, I apologize, man. Just let me know why you're saying good morning, because it seems like. But then you could have a phone. You could have a computer like my phone. My phone writes whatever the hell it pleases.
So
I type shit in, and it's like, you don't mean stepped, you mean stopped, and it just switches the word. I'm like,
mine was doing that, and I shut that off.
I tried.
I'm like, stop suggesting words and autocorrecting for me.
No, it won't.
When I say bitch, I mean bitch. I don't mean birch.
Right? Isn't that terrible?
Or botch.
Pisses me off. And then I gotta cuss out my phone.
Hi,
and then,
Lori.
of course, I cuss out my phone with the microphone on. And I gotta delete all the cuss words I just said, because I don't want to send that to my mom. Sorry, Mom.
That's right there.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
She knows what's up.
I know, but I know. She's probably thankful that I delete all them cuss words
So on today's show, we've got,
that
for
are
the
meant
first
for
hour,
my phone.
for the first hour, we've got what we're doing right now. We call this the opener. We have This Week in Comedy History. You're going to learn some information about some stuff you never knew about. Maybe.
Yay.
He's going to break down something.
Breakdown, shakedown. Yeah, a movie.
A movie. What was the name?
Irresistible.
Irresistible.
Which is a political movie.
Yeah. Outpost Survival Tip of the Week is
It's a political satire, actually.
Vacuum.
What?
420 is going to be about something about Branson. Conjecture of Fact is going to be about ejaculation. So if you've got,
Sensitive
children,
ears, Mum.
children in the it's going to be not good.
Chris, offensive.
So if you have sensitive ears, don't be listening to this show. And then we'll reset for the second hour whenever the second hour comes around. So you ready for This Week in Comedy History?
I am ready, sir. Let's go.
For those
We
of
are
you
7, almost 8 minutes in. Let's do this.
For those of you who are commenting on the KC Comedy
Boom.
Radio
What's up?
Facebook
I know we
thing,
can finally see it right in front of us. That is
However,
so awesome, Jeff.
when I'm doing This
You're the
Week in
world's
Comedy
greatest
History,
producer.
when I'm doing This Week in Comedy History, you're not going to be able to do that.
I'm not going to be able to do that.
They are not going to be able to do that.
Why?
Here we go. This week.
I'm just not going to be able to see it while they're doing that. They'll be able to comment still, right?
Right.
Okay. Cool.
This Week in Comedy History. Oh, I got it.
Wait, where are you going?
I'm making it go.
What was the Ed O'Neill thing that was
That's
coming?
it.
No.
I got the wrong one.
I love me some Ed O'Neill. That guy's got great timing.
Why?
Right?
Yeah.
He
Ed
really
O'Neill.
does. Movies, even in the show too, but he had really good timing. A good rhythm. They all did. They did a good job on that show.
There. Boom.
That's why we named our show. Sort of after that show.
Boom.
Sort of. Just a little bit.
There you go. This week
What's
in
up, big man?
This Week in Comedy History from April 12th through April 18th. The first one on the docket is April 12th, 1946. Ed O'Neill was born. This guy right here.
Aries. Okay.
Known best for his role as Al Bundy on Married with Children.
Yes, sir. And Dutch. He played Dutch also. He was very well known for that.
Well, and also he's that guy from the Family show with the little Mexican kids. And the Mexican lady that used to be the nanny. Did she used to be the nanny?
I don't know that show.
Was she the nanny?
What show are you talking about?
The Mexican chick. He's like
the Mexican chick? Why? How would I
What's
know
that
the Mexican
show?
chick?
Here,
That doesn't help me.
somebody.
Turn back
say-
on the comments so somebody can tell us. You know, you never know what comes out. If you can't take a joke, this is not the spot for you.
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
No,
Is Chris coming after my spot?
No, man. No, man. All right.
Coming at me, bro.
You might not know that Ed O'Neill was signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1969 as an undrafted free
I
agent.
knew he was a football player. I didn't know that.
Actual football player.
Yeah, he was actually drafted, which means he was a good college player. Cool.
April 13, 1964, Caroline Ray was born. Best known as Aunt Hilda on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yep.
You might not know that she started her stand-up career performing alongside Chris Rock, Louis C.K., Dave Attell, Mark Maron,
earrings,
and
bro.
Jim Gaffigan.
Look at those earrings, bro. They're cherries.
That's cherry, bro.
That's awesome.
You know what's really funny is? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to try to read this stuff. Modern Family.
She's not the nanny. Oh my God. Modern Family. She's not the nanny. Right. You're going to get me in trouble, man. Jay called her the nanny too. No, I did not. I've never seen the show. I apologize.
Notice
Modern
a theme.
Family. Okay, Brad Garrett.
Notice a theme so far?
I don't notice
sitcoms.
Oh, sitcoms. Gotcha. Because I don't.
April 14th, 1960, Brad Garrett was born.
What?
He's best known as Raymond's brother on the TV show Everybody Loves Raymond.
Right.
You might not know that he attended UCLA for only 2 months before dropping out to pursue a stand-up comedy career.
Or what did he drop out with?
He dropped out of UCLA.
What?
To pursue a stand-up comedy career.
What was he studying? Do we know?
He was studying.
He's drunk there. I'll tell you that.
Nope. Nobody knows what he was studying.
Boy.
He doesn't even know what he was studying.
Yeah, not there he doesn't. Right there he's like, why are you taking my picture?
You're going to like this one. March 19th. I'm going to even zoom into this. Oh, that is zoomed
in the world?
March 19th, 1921. Tommy Cooper was born and he died April 15th, 1984. Best known for his prop comedy magic act.
What day was he born?
April 15th. No, March 19th.
March 19th.
So you might not know that Tommy Cooper died while performing on live television, and everybody thought it was part of the act.
Okay, that's the guy you were telling me about. Okay, you told me about that. Yeah. Italian mafia here. Oh, now you're threatening my life?
Kids these days.
I tell you what.
Kids these days. So that broke the sitcom, but he's part of TV. So all these are about TV.
At least he didn't threaten me as a Shriner.
Boom.
Then I'd be dead.
Okay, here we go. April 16, 1952, Billy West was born. You know this guy?
I can't. I'm still
You know that guy?
I'm laughing at my other joke.
You know that guy?
No.
You don't know that guy?
Who is that?
Billy West.
No, I mean, obviously it's Billy West, but I mean, who is it?
Billy West, best known for the voice of Doug on the cartoon series Doug.
Okay, I think I know that. One, Doug.
I don't know. I was going to do the theme song, but I can't remember. You might not know in the 1980s, he was in an oldies band called the Shutdowns. Shutdowns, which
I would not
he should revive his band now with Shutdowns going on, you know?
With the Wake Ups.
Yeah.
Call them the Wake Ups.
He should do his Shutdowns right now. All right. April 17th, nothing happened.
All right. That's awesome.
April 18th, Rick Moranis was born, best known for his time as a cast member on SCTV and as the possessed guy in Ghostbusters.
I was gonna say,
and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, he's known for a lot of stuff.
He's supposed to be revising his role on as a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids coming out.
Another one,
like a reboot.
He did like 3 of them.
Like a reboot.
He did I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again, I think, and then Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
But you might not know, in 1997,
actually,
his wife died, and he decided to quit all of his career stuff to become a full-time stay-at-home single dad.
Aww. So, and now that his kids are 30, what's he doing?
No, well, he's getting back into He's getting back into the swing of things.
As it was 20 years ago, he decided to be a stay-at-home dad. All of them
Yeah.
are grown.
He's
so.
getting back into the swing of
Let's
things.
do this, man. Get
Boom.
back into it, Moranis.
Rick.
Jeez.
Boom.
We've
There you
been
go. You know what I should do?
missing you. I know. I don't know. Don't put the comments back up.
Boom.
Some guy was threatening my life.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, he was in Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop Horrors. What? Oh, I was talking about the picture he said.
What? Okay, Melissa's like, Rick Moranis got attacked by a hobo in New York City a few months ago, but he's okay.
Did he get COVID?
From the attack?
From the hobo?
Dude, people are
that
so
insensitive?
stupid with this COVID
Insensitive.
thing. I was
That's
picking up
so
a prescription yesterday, and some lady's talking to her husband, like, I can't hear you talking. Look, that man doesn't have a mask. I can't believe they let people like that in this store. They should have kicked him out. They should have never even let him in the store.
Taking out the trash this week.
You know what?
Masks.
I'm at the Walgreens picking up a prescription because I have a medical condition.
Well, those are the people that need their masks.
Yeah.
And just because you've had your vaccination doesn't mean you need a mask.
They were standing in line for their vaccination, and they were FaceTiming it, letting all their friends know that they were about to get their vaccination.
Idiots. I want to make it known that I do not agree. And he said I don't threaten family. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Chris.
I do not consent to having my video.
But I don't consent to having my video vaccinated. This is ridiculous.
You mean you're vaccinated?
I mean, I don't consent to being vaccinated.
Or video. While vaccinated.
While being vaccinated. Yes, that's what I meant.
They asked me at the doctor's office.
Video vaccination. That's it.
They asked me at the doctor.
What is that?
It's one of those.
Nuh-uh.
It's an orb.
What is that?
It's an orb. So they asked me at the doctor's office yesterday if I got the vaccine. I said no, and they said, do you get the flu shot? No. Did you get the vaccination for whatever else? And they went down a list of things.
Last time you were sick? Last time I got vaccinated.
They're asking me all this stuff about did you get vaccinated or whatever. Are you planning on it? No. Well, no, why would I?
Can we persuade you?
I'm
no.
I'm 100% sure whatever I'm going to get vaccinated for, I'm going to have. I'm going to get sick from it, whatever it is.
That's the thing. And look, that's what people don't understand about this vaccine. We're all the guinea pigs. Everyone. And not just the people who get vaccinated.
I do not consent to be part of a clinical trial.
Right? Isn't that it?
That's what it is, bro.
Because it's a live trial. Because what they don't understand is when they get vaccinated and then they get the virus anyway, they can still transmit it. So the responsible nature of their decision to get vaccinated is negated. It's
You said negate.
Oh man, I knew it.
He said negate.
Crap! I'm gonna have to put a quarter in the jar.
Negate. I'm gonna make you drink some vinegar.
Anyways, listen, man.
I'm gonna make you.
What people don't know is they cannot make you wear a mask.
They
can kick you out of the store.
Nope.
But they cannot make you wear a mask.
Nope.
And the only reason I wear a mask is out of respect for my wife. Because I could give a shit less. I don't give a... Listen, I don't give a... I am not responsible for other people's health. I am not a doctor, okay? And to tell me that I can't say you shouldn't wear a mask because I'm not a doctor and then tell me I have to wear a mask even though I'm not a doctor, people don't see how that's... inconsistent.
You know, the next time somebody says to you, blood clot. Oh yeah, blood clots.
Blood clots.
Your chances of getting a blood clot with the vaccine is 1 in a million, which is about the same amount of chance as getting a blood clot in general.
I was gonna say, well, there are concerns.
Well, let me tell you something. About
there
that.
are concerns.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Mrs. Onyx said, no shit, they literally didn't test it. Well, they couldn't test it because they railroaded it through.
I forgot what I was going to say. It had something to do with what we're talking about right now.
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say, so I can't help you, bro. I can't. I'll say this, man.
I got no clue what I was going to say.
I know where we were going was I was saying that we don't have to wear the mask, and they can't make you wear a mask, but they can't kick you out of the store. And that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to make that distinction.
No, but they can't kick you out of the store.
They technically can refuse service. They
No.
can refuse entry too.
No, because
it's not a public facility. It's a store.
Melissa and I both have medical conditions that preclude us from wearing a mask because it actually hurts us.
Yes, but then they can say that you have to provide that proof to enter the store.
They don't.
Yes.
No, they don't, because check this out. As soon as they tell me you have to wear a mask, and I say to them I have a medical condition, and then they say you still have to leave the store, and then I say I would like an incident report. And they'll say, why do you want an incident report?
I still say it's genius.
Because if I get an incident report and I call my ADA attorney, I'm going to own this store. So,
which is not true.
Well,
because they
that particular
passed laws
store,
so you can't sue them.
They did? No.
Yes.
The ADA, you can. Okay. Because the Americans with Disability Act prevents people
from... I hope you're right, Jeff, because I want to sue everybody then. I'm going to sue every big business.
If you have a medical condition.
None of them survive.
If you
Only
have medical
small
condition,
businesses survive.
If you're telling me if you go to Best Buy and they tell you you're in a wheelchair, you can't come in here. And you say no. And they say, well, the sign says you have to be able to walk to get everywhere. And then they kick out the person in the wheelchair. The person in the wheelchair can sue because they violated the Americans with Disability Act. It's discrimination. Same thing with me.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but he has proof of the wheelchair. Right?
It doesn't matter if I have proof.
That's what I'm saying to you, though. But that's the thing. In order to sue somebody in a court of law,
I mean, I have proof.
You would have to have medical proof.
Oh, I've got medical proof.
Exactly.
But I mean, I have medical proof. My point is, though, that the store's not allowed to ask.
The store can say, well, then you're putting the people at the store at risk, and you cannot come in. It's a health code. It is considered a health code violation.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
no, it's not. Nope.
Okay.
I disagree.
They didn't repeal it, dude.
No.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay.
If I go into a store, they have to accommodate me.
They still have to repeal the health code violation.
But they have to accommodate me. And if they don't accommodate me, then I can sue them. Now, if they accommodate me like Best Buy gave me my own personal shopper.
I want everyone watching to know that he keeps saying me, and I am speaking more general to the people who are listening to this, thinking what he's saying is a good idea.
Yes, it is a good idea.
Keep in mind that at some point in the process, you will have to provide some proof.
At some point in the process,
that you have a medical condition.
At some point in the process, all of us need to stand up and say, "I'm not wearing a mask because you can't control me."
I also agree with that, fucker.
You don't control me.
I also agree with that.
You don't control me.
Can't be devil's advocate now.
So. Can't control me. I'm just waiting for the thing to get banned as soon as we say don't take the vaccine. They're gonna shut us off the thing. Listen, I'm not saying don't take the vaccine. I'm saying
you do whatever the hell you want.
You do you, boo boo.
I'm not taking it.
Don't tell
right?
me what I can and cannot do.
That's what I'm saying. You do whatever you want to, but let's just understand that the whole point of the mask wearing and all those things was so that you wouldn't give it to other people.
Hey, you know what?
But now you're getting a vaccine that you don't know what's happening, but you do know that it's not structured like a regular vaccine.
Tell you what.
So whatever you do get, you can give to other people.
You come up to me.
I just want to let you know.
You come up to me and you tell me to wear a mask. I'm going to go over to you when you're eating a salad. I'm going to say you have to use blue cheese. Whether you like it or not, use that blue cheese. It's a personal preference. Personal preference, right? You have the freedom not to eat blue cheese if you want to.
Unfortunately, like I said, it is a health code violation.
No.
In Jackson
You can't tell me.
Now, when you get outside the county, the cool part is, and I think we are actually, so maybe that does apply up here, but when you get outside the county, if you notice, people don't say shit.
Yeah, nobody says it. Well,
they don't.
I guarantee you, dude, everywhere I go, I haven't had anybody in the past 2 months except for people who talk shit behind my back.
Yeah, I had a guy at Hy-Vee. He was bagging the groceries, and I was standing next to my wife. I didn't have my mask on. And he goes, and I had my mask in my hand, by the way.
Say it to me.
And he goes, excuse me, he goes, mask. And I go, yeah, I brought it. And then I turned to my wife, and I started to say something, but I could feel him looking at me, and I turned back to him, and I go, good thing I didn't need it. I just went on about my business.
There was
leave me alone. Y'all don't... Just because you believe what you see on the news does not mean that you are correct. And just because you're trying to be empathetic by wearing a mask does not mean that I'm required to, because that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Charity that is mandatory is not charity.
There was a lady on TikTok that Melissa watches, and somebody told her, "You need to wear your mask because it's no good in your pocket." Really? Well, your teeth are no good on the floor either. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. So then you threatened her.
Yeah. Well, no. You're suggesting that your teeth are no good on the floor. There's no threat there.
That's a threat. Jeff, listen.
But the guy didn't say.
You don't have to be angry.
The guy said mask. He didn't say, "Sir, do you have a mask?" He just went mask, like an asshole. Yeah. So your response should have been cock. Are we just throwing out words?
Glory.
Well,
glory.
Well, no.
Glory mask. What? Glory hole.
Are we doing 4-letter words that end with?
Sorry, Mom. This got off.
If we're doing 4-letter words that end with a K, you said mask.
My mom finally listens to the show.
You said mask. I said cock.
Not listening anymore. Yeah,
4-letter words that end with a K. If you want to keep going, we can keep going, bitch.
Right?
Okay.
That's the other thing. Can you get kicked out of the store for cussing?
Actually, somebody tried to kick me out of the store for cussing, and I did the same thing.
You told me you have a medical condition.
I have a medical condition.
I have Tourette's. Leave me alone, bitch.
I even talked to the manager. I even went to the manager and I said, that guy over there, he needs to be retrained and be more sensitive. He needs to go sensitivity training because I have Asperger's syndrome and I can't control when I say bitch or fuck or retard. I can't control it. So if he's going to tell me what I'm supposed to say, and he told me you can't say that in here, how dare you tell me what I can and cannot say? I have a condition.
He has asshole burgers.
And I told the manager, I said, look, I understand I'm sounding like an asshole right now, but that kid needs to be retrained, and you can't tell me I can't cuss, because I was like, hey, do you think you can get me one of those fucking controllers from over there? And he goes, no, I already sold that. I was like, that's fucking retarded. He goes, you can't say that.
I can say retarded. I don't understand why
Which
you
word?
can't say retarded.
Which word am I not allowed to say? Either one of them.
I almost understand.
You offend me.
Fucking, but
You know what offends me? Well, you know what offends me?
What he means is you cannot call somebody retarded.
The 3 different colors in your hair, that offends me because I'm colorblind. But I can still see the colors.
Technically, that's short for mentally retarded.
Well, actually, in my case, it's something that prevents something else from happening. So I am a retarder.
Retarded,
and I have been retarded.
If you're retarded, you have been slowed or hindered in some way. That's the definition. If you're a retarder, you're one that slows or hinders someone else.
My social interaction filter has been retarded.
Yeah, and retard is to slow or hinder.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand that because they hear retard and they think, oh, that's but it is a slander on a mentally retarded person. But to say retarded doesn't, it doesn't apply to that if you're using it in the right context.
Because I was watching a show and they said we put this chemical in there to make sure that we retard the interaction between this chemical and the other chemical.
Boom.
You put it in there to do what?
You said the R word.
Republican? Okay, what's on the breakdown? Right. Break it down. Break it down for the people.
Shake down. All right, so Wally's what is it? Wonderland?
Well, we're gonna do a teaser on that one.
I want to do the teaser first because I want to talk about that because I saw it on the HBO Max.
So we looked up movies that have really low ratings that are at the Redbox right now, and we watched 2 of them.
Excuse me. Oh, right, because we were gonna do that originally. That's how we were gonna do the breakdown.
So Melissa and I last night we watched 2 movies that had really low ratings. So out of a 10, it was like a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10.
Okay, that's not bad.
Really low. Out of 10? Less than half.
Well, yeah, but I was talking about doing like movies that rated 1s and
they said
2s if you can find them.
Oddly enough, okay, the other movie we saw was Monster Hunter.
To be able to on
Monster
Netflix.
Hunter.
Okay, Monster Hunter
with Mila Jovovich.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Monster Hunter was actually ranked lower on the rating on the
really?
thing. than
Now I really want to see it.
than the
I didn't
Nicolas
want to see
Cage
it
movie.
before, but now I want to see
And
it.
the comments were like on the Monster Hunter, the comments were like, "This movie's great if you're 5."
Oh, really?
This
Awesome.
stupid movie.
Was it?
Well, no,
Was it
everybody was saying it
stupid
was a
movie?
stupid movie. I thought it was all right.
It was all right. Okay.
It was based on a video game that I've never heard of.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
gotcha.
the guy that made Resident Evil,
Okay,
the
so
guy
Willie's...
that made Resident Evil and the chick that acted in Resident Evil, and apparently the person who made the music for Resident Evil, all joined together to make a movie called Monster Hunter, about a video game called Monster Hunter.
Okay, gotcha. They do that with like Tim Burton and Johnny Depp type stuff. So
Yeah.
what about Willy's Wonderland? Is that like
Okay,
an
so-
offshoot of Willy Wonka or something?
Well, when we first saw it, okay, there are elements of Chucky in there, or Child's Play. There's elements of
Okay.
Child's Play in there. There's elements of the Five Nights at Freddy's in there. There's different elements of different movies in there.
Okay.
So it's like pieces of other movies that you're like, are they stealing from these other movies? What the deal is they have a Chuck E. Cheese type place called Willy's Wonderland.
Okay, but
Willy-
it's serial killers. or
Willy is a
something.
weasel.
Okay.
And these murderer serial killer people that worked at the place did a suicide pact, killing themselves, transferring their souls into the animatronics.
Okay.
So Nicolas Cage is sent in as a human sacrifice to appease them so that they don't get out of the building to kill people in their town.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
So they do.
So he goes in there.
Spoiler alert.
He goes in there and doesn't speak at all in the movie. He has no lines in the movie at all.
I want to see it.
He just does his Nicolas Cage glares at, like, they said one of the reviews, Nicolas Cage level 11, because he's just Nicolas Caging, doing them faces.
The eyebrows.
Yeah. So
making them dance, baby, making them dance.
but
Working it.
I guess when he's fully fighting with these things, he's making noise, so he's not
Right.
mute. He just doesn't have
Right,
any
gotcha.
lines.
Okay.
And they said that a couple of the scenes he made up the scene, like he just made it up as he went. And they're like, okay, we'll put this in. We'll put this in the movie.
How do you make up a scene that you don't have dialogue in? That's interesting.
Whoa, he made up, dude. If you watch the movie,
Okay, I'm going to.
the Napoleon Dynamite dance when he's playing pinball,
Okay.
that was all improvised.
Okay.
Bye, Barbara.
Gotcha.
Bye, Barbara.
Love you, Mom. Bye.
Bye. 30 minutes into the show, she didn't even get to hear the good stuff.
All right, I'm glad she came in because I needed to call her. So.
Anyway, so it was I thought it was a pretty good movie. They
All
did
right.
steal from other movies, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought the
right.
Nicolas Cage movie was better than the Mila Jovovich.
Okay, and if it's for kids, then
It's not for
we'll
kids.
See. It's not.
No.
Well,
It's a
then Why
horror-
would you say that?
it's a
about if you're
horror-
5.
Oh, you mean
stupid.
the Monster Hunter one?
Yeah.
The Monster Hunter one is because
not
they're
funny.
cheesy dialogue,
Yeah, but
and just the
still.
way that the movie goes along is really, really. It's got a lot of violence.
So it's not for a 5-year-old.
Not for a
So
5-year-old.
the person who made that comment's just
It was like making
using
fun of it. That it was like
hyperbole.
it was. You
Very
have to be very
simple dialogue.
immature to watch that movie.
Because
that
you
if-
can't be 5 if it's graphic like that.
Yeah,
Because
no.
then that makes them. Bye, guys. Bye, Mom.
But okay.
Because that makes it seem like you're advocating for 5-year-olds to watch it.
No. I was saying in the comments that somebody was sarcastically saying that if you enjoy this movie, you're immature.
Okay.
That's basically it. So
Well,
what's your
now I
breakdown?
want to watch it to see if I'm immature.
Irresistible.
All right. So the movie I was going to do for Breakdown, I really wanted to talk about those other ones just because, normally I do the movies. But for Breakdown, I was going to do Irresistible with Rose Byrne and Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
Yeah, I like Steve.
I get my haircut. I got a picture of Steve Carell, and I go, "This is my haircut." I shit you not. I carry a picture of Steve Carell in my wallet when I go to haircut,
You're creepy.
and I say, "This is my haircut I want."
You're creepy.
I have the hair to do it. at my age.
Creeper. No, I get it. He's a cool old dude. All right, so I don't know if anyone's seen the previews for this thing, but it's a political movie, but it's a political satire. And I don't know. I'm a big fan of documentaries and political movies and everything else that are true-ish, right? Because everything has spin to it, but I like to watch movies that have a lot of facts in them and stuff that you can go back and investigate. Well, Irresistible goes and takes you on a little ride. So, like, what was that movie? Spotlight. So, if any of you know Spotlight, you can look up some of that information, and most of that stuff's true. Anyways, but Irresistible is not like that. It gives the impression of some realism to it, right? But it's a factitional movie. Like something like that probably happened, but they probably changed all the names and all the plot lines, and you know what I mean.
You ever watch a movie?
So like they were probably like, somebody was like, "Hey, did you hear about the town that such and such and such and such?" And then they, this guy ran for mayor, and so somebody was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. I'm gonna write a funny movie
about that.
kind of about that." Yeah.
Did you know that there was a movie where Chris Rock was running for president as the first black president before Barack Obama ran for president?
What was it? State of the Union?
I don't know, but the whole premise of the movie was that he was an unknown,
right,
and that he had charisma, and they were trying to run somebody for president who would never have a chance to become president, who ended up, possibly getting become a president anyway.
So, anyways, this was not that. It was.
But you said it's a politically type thing.
It's a political satire, so it takes real political aspects of like donations and allocations of funds, and at one point he basically tells some of the volunteers, look, you can no longer work here because you're a part of this now. And so he made him work from the back of the office room.
Oh.
And so like she goes to ask him a question later on. He's like, nope, nope. You have to go through the proper channels. And they're like standing right next to each other. He's like, nope, nope. I can't. I wish I could remember what he banished her to. But anyways, so it spoofs a little bit on the political process and lobbying and money and allocation of funds and whatnot. But it's a very good movie, and Steve Carell is good about making things that may not necessarily be funny.
Yeah.
He makes the situation humorous just by the way he reacts to it. And I think some of that's very pure. Maybe that's why people connect with that. So, anyways, it was a good movie. It was very, very cute, very funny. Um, and of course, it had a lower rating than our radio show here.
It had a low rating?
No, I meant, because like ours is NC-17, but theirs was R. So, if you're watching the show, you can watch this movie, is what I was going to say. But anyways, I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. And now
Irresistible.
It's called Irresistible. I'm not even sure why. I mean, the movie is actually about a guy who makes a speech at a town hall meeting, and he kind of gives them the business and then storms off. And somebody submits the tape to this guy who runs like election candidates, and he goes up there and says, look, I want to make you the mayor of this town, and I want to get you some exposure because I want people,
because he's charismatic.
But he's not. That's the funny. He's not. You got to see it. That's the thing. You got to see it because the way he makes the speech, you're like, oh my gosh. But then when you meet the guy, you're like, oh shit. Like he's like that all the time.
But have you ever heard of people who are so uncharismatic that they are charismatic?
Right, I get your point. But
Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, no, I get your point, but like I said, you got to see the movie to kind of to understand why that's hard to, I don't know, put your finger on for that part of the movie. It's there's a twist to the movie that I don't know.
Does
They
it
don't really hint you towards. It's really cool.
does it make you wish that he was in a movie where he was making an arc?
No, but I'll
He was
say
in that
that
movie.
movie was okay. It was okay. It wasn't
What?
as good as the first one, but it was okay. What? What happened?
You've seen Irritable?
Irresistible.
Were you trying to say Irresistible, Lori?
It says irritable. Irritable bowel.
Irritable
Is
vowels.
that a movie?
She has irritable vowels because they don't fit properly.
Okay.
You remember my joke?
Bing.
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 Okay.
Okay. Anyways, watch it, love it, and I'm gonna watch the Nicolas Cage doesn't speak movie.
Yeah.
It's tailor made for him.
Outpost Survival Tip of the Week.
Okay.
So the Outpost Survival Tip of the Week, it really came about because we've been doing this for a while,
Is
and
this
some
the
people don't.
ejaculation one?
No.
Oh, okay.
Some people don't know about this, but
survival tip of the week.
Outpost Survival Tip of the Week is vacuum sealers, vacuum sealed bags.
Oh, it's not. You're sure it's not?
If yeah, save it for later as a lunchable. No, but vacuum sealer. If you have, if you don't have a vacuum sealer, I would suggest you get one.
Excuse me.
This is one of the things that we use our vacuum sealer for. Let's see if I can do it top down. Top down. This is our seeds. These are our seeds. It's a bag of seeds.
Oh, gotcha.
And there are hundreds of different varieties of fruits and vegetables there.
I was meaning to tell you I wanted to get one of these, yeah.
So what we did was we've got a vacuum sealer. We vacuum seal, like we'll make a big meal. Let's say we make meatloaf.
Large cherry tomato, green leaf lettuce,
we make a bunch of
finger carrot.
We make a bunch of meatloaf or something, whatever it is, and we vacuum seal them, and then we freeze them. Or if we've got a lot of chicken breast,
giant parsley,
chicken breast, hamburger meat, steak, different things like that. What we'll do is we'll either vacuum seal them raw or we'll vacuum seal them cooked, and we actually write on them what they are. We also vacuum seal rice and beans and different stuff like that. No.
How do you make sure they don't get cracked?
What, the beans?
Yeah. Well,
the
some
beans,
of them are going to be softer than the beans or the corn.
Well, the beans are inside of Ziploc bags and wrapped.
Okay.
And then they're put in the vacuum sealer, so they're all kept from being messed with. But we've used them, by the way. We've used the seeds. We've opened this, used some of the seeds.
I was going to ask you.
Closed it back up and resealed it.
I got to tell you, folks, this is absolutely phenomenal. Top down again.
Boom.
I don't know if you can see that.
And they're all labeled, all the different seeds.
Cherry tomato, Hampson tomato, snowball what? Ooh, and bodacious sweet corn. My wife has told me about that. That's good stuff. Strike bush bean. How do I get one of these?
One of what?
We
made that.
Yeah, are you selling them or something?
No, we made those. So the point being, vacuum seal bags. But another use for vacuum seal bags is if you have a bug out bag and you've got an extra pair of clothes, like an extra pair of pants, extra shirt, whatever, you can put your pants into a vacuum seal bag, vacuum seal it. It compacts it, but also keeps it waterproof. And then you keep those pants in your bug out bag for years. It won't mildew. It won't mold. It'll stay fresh. It'll stay waterproof.
Are you listening to this, wifey?
If you have a shirt, underwear, socks, whatever, you could take the shirt, put it in, vacuum seal it, the underwear, vacuum seal it. They have reusable vacuum seal bags for clothing.
All right.
I personally don't do. Yeah. We don't need these.
They're not big enough, so they're right here at the top and right here at the bottom.
We don't need those. Anyway. So the vacuum seal bags, you can do pretty much almost anything in a vacuum seal bag. You could also put fire starter kits, fishing kits, various foods in these vacuum seal bags. Vacuum seal them, put them in your bug out bag, your emergency preparedness kit, whatever. You could take batteries and flashlight, vacuum seal batteries, flashlight, whatever you could think of that you want to keep waterproof and airtight.
Okay.
Waterproof, airtight.
Interesting.
And these vacuum seal things last long time. I don't know, forever. I won't say forever, but they
Well,
last
because
a long
we
time.
have one, so
A vacuum sealer?
yeah, right, babe. Yeah, we've got
Dude,
one. Yeah, yeah.
vacuum sealers are the bomb.
We don't
yo.
really use it yet, but like I said too, like I saw that list of vegetables, and I was like, oh my gosh, sounds like the kind of garden I'd love to have.
Well, what we decided to do
Right,
when we
so
when we moved to the property where we're at, we decided that even if we're not going to be growing all of that stuff,
right,
okay, what we were going to do is we were going to do maybe 3 or 4 um, different types of vegetables every year.
right,
So like tomatoes and lettuce and
right,
onions and stuff like that. Anyway, so Melissa put that together because she's like, what if for some reason we can't get a hold of seeds? And we got like a seed catalog where you can order the seeds and you can order them. They'll
That's
send them
what I
to
was
you.
asking about.
Yeah, they have a seed catalog where you can order them and they can come to you. You can also get
Send that to me.
heirloom seeds. You know an heirloom
That's
seed
what I
is?
was telling you earlier. Yeah, I wanna
Non-GMO
find, yeah,
seeds.
heirloom seeds. That's what I'm trying to find.
Keep in
Thank
mind that if you buy trees, that you're very aware of how the trees reproduce with each other. For example, there are
Right.
some pear trees.
Right.
You have to have another type of pear tree for them to pollinate each other, so that they can produce the fruit.
Right, because like people think you can just take an avocado off an avocado tree and make an avocado tree, and it
Yeah.
doesn't work like that. Most of the time, if you take an avocado off an avocado tree and plant it,
Yeah.
it will not make a fruit-bearing avocado tree.
Right. Right.
A hedge apple. What are hedge apples? I found out the hedge apples trees used to be apple trees, and something happens to them, and they can't
change,
produce fruit anymore. Yeah. So I didn't know that.
We
'Cause I
call
thought
the
you just get a hedge apple tree.
the
But
hedge
that
apples.
doesn't how that works.
We call those monkey balls because you're sitting out there, all of a sudden want to fall out of the tree, but it falls like it's
Yeah,
being
they're
thrown.
huge, dude.
So it's almost like a monkey's in the tree
they're like
throwing
a
them at you.
softball, man. They're huge.
Melissa said that you can get bags in different sizes. We bought the vacuum seal machine at Walmart,
Right.
but the bags we buy off of eBay because it's cheaper to get the bags in
Right, but
bulk
I'm not
off
talking
eBay.
about the bags and the vacuum sealer because we have that. I was talking about the seeds.
Yeah,
That's
the
what I was
seeds.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get
Thank you, Mrs. Onyx. Much
But
appreciated.
you can get the seed book, the seed catalog. They'll send you all the different seed places. They'll send you the seed catalog for free.
Yeah, because there's a show that I listen to called The Power Hour,
Another thing, Farmer's Almanac.
and they have heirloom seeds.
Very accurate. Farmer's Almanac is great.
I was wondering if you knew it was going to be cold today. That's how I ended up
The Farmer's
running
Almanac.
the booth for you.
I'm telling you, the Farmer's Almanac. You can determine the best time to plant certain things, and it even has a list in there of these the different vegetables alphabetically, so you can go down the list and you can, like I went down the list and it was like tomatoes. Tomato growing season is between April 1st and April 30th, right?
Okay.
But you can't.
I didn't know that, but that's easy for you because you're an Aries.
But you can't.
Right?
You can't plant if it's too cold outside.
Right.
But right now it's too cold,
Right.
so we couldn't plant. Okay, so Melissa says she got her seeds from an organic farm in Iowa. They're cheaper to buy them.
They're cheaper to buy. They're cheaper than from a local store.
Yeah, they're cheaper to buy them.
Okay, so she bought them online from an organic farm in Iowa.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you. That's awesome. I would appreciate that. My wife also would appreciate that.
Okay.
We are currently looking to start a little
autocorrect
garden.
That's funny.
All right.
Lori had autocorrect. Man, that stuff is
smells like Tiger Balm,
strong,
right?
bro.
Right?
Damn.
Wakes you the
so that was
no
the
more
Outpost,
yawning, homie.
that was the Outpost Survival Tip of the Week.
That
and
is
speaking
amazing,
of that,
sir.
the now we're gonna do 420. 420.
Okay.
Why does my hat feel like it's like riding high on my head? It looks like it's riding high on my head.
So attitudes are changing about marijuana. That's good.
Yeah, attitudes.
And I don't really drink anymore. don't really drink any less.
Because you don't get an
No,
you don't get a chance to.
I don't know. Drinking's okay, but I only drink when I can't smoke
That
or
was a joke.
when I'm somewhere when I'm really comfortable and I can drink and smoke a little bit. But I generally don't like to drink. And when I do, now it's basically wine. Right? And I like to drink wine. Problem is I drink St. James. So it tastes so good that like I drink way too much.
St.
You know
James?
what I mean? Yeah.
Is it in a box?
No.
Is it in a bag?
No, it's a winery in Branson.
Oh.
St. James Winery. And you can buy it here, thankfully. But you used to only be able to buy it down there.
Well, I'm not familiar with...
And it's right next to Stonehill. Is that what it's called, Beb? Yep, Stonehill. It's right next to Stonehill, so it's my personal favorite, right?
Huh.
So, anyways, we were sitting down there, and I don't know, the whole time we were there, we smoked. All right, smoked some weed. Everybody's happy, you know. Nobody really cared. We had a condo, right? Which was really nice. And sitting out there one day, and this young cat like walked by. We're out there smoking, and he walked by once, right? And then he walked by a second time. And he walked by a third time. My wife's like, "You see him, right?" I was like, "Yeah." You probably smell that weed. He's probably trying to figure out where it's from. She's like, "No, he knows where it's at."
Did he walk by like this?
No, but he like wasn't sniffing the air or making anything obvious, right? So that's cool. So then the wife's like, "Well, here you go. You can finish it off." And she leaves like the roach, you know. And so I took a couple more hits, and this kid walked back, and he's like, "Hey." So I was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "Hey, man, it's me and my friend's last day here. We don't really know anybody. I got $20, and he's pulling out the $20, he's holding it up. It's like, "I got $20. Can we buy some weed off of you?" And so, and I mean, you know, normally the wife, she likes to be there till the very last puff. She's very competitive that way. She likes to have the last puff. And like, if I puff before I put it out, she gives me the look. You know what I mean? Like, she's very competitive. So when she left that for me, I was like, "Oh, that's very sweet." So I'm thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get high as fuck," right? So then the kid's like, "Oh," I was like, "Man, we really don't have anything to sell to you, but." Oh, and I dropped it. Oops. Can't really throw it back up to me, you know. And I just walked inside and let him have it, and I thought, it's nice. So then, like, I don't know. I gotta remember to tell the cop story too. Don't let me forget. But
you got a ticket too?
No. I'll tell you what happened later that night. That's how the wine ties in, right? Because I like to smoke a little weed, drink a little wine too, right? So, anyways, so this happens, and then the next day, the guy's walking out with his family to the car, and they've got a Ford hybrid, same color as our hybrid. And he like totally walks up to the car like he's gonna open the door and get in. I'm like, "Hey, bro, that's not your car." And he looks at me, and then he looks at his mom as if looking for validation. She's like, "That's not our car." And I admit they looked enough alike, but I couldn't help but think I contributed to that in some way. I didn't want to get mad at the kid.
That he was stoned.
He was probably still stoned from the day before. I mean, we smoked some pretty powerful shit.
Have you ever gotten in the wrong car? I used to own a Suburban, and I saw a shitty rusted out Suburban in the parking lot, looked just like mine. I go over there, I get in the Suburban, I sit down.
I know I've opened the wrong door before.
I look in the rearview mirror, and there's a car seat. I'm like, I don't remember having a car seat.
I don't think I have a baby.
So I quietly get out of the car.
I put a baby seat in my car.
I shut the door. I'm like, oh shit. I hope somebody doesn't think I was just trying to steal out of their car, because damn, I just snuck into somebody else's car.
All right, so real quick, so later on that night, okay, I wanted to tell you that part of the story. So later on that night, I'm like, I didn't want to sit out on the porch, right, and attract more attention, and maybe have that kid come by and be like, "Hey man, guys, more weed. Hey man, I got another friend, but who knows another friend. You know, we could pay more." You know, I don't want to go through all that. Anyway, so I was sitting out in the car, right? And I just finished smoking. And I was sitting out there and I had a big fat glass of wine, dude. And I was just toasty. The wife and the kids were asleep, you know, and I was chilling out there. And right as I went to light my CBD cigarette, I noticed there was a flashlight, like, and I mean, it looked familiar, right? Having been a police officer of a sort in the military, I recognized the flashlight bouncing around as looking for something. And I don't know, 30 seconds later, I look up and there's a cop standing behind my shoulder, and he's like, he knocks on the window and he's like trying to get me to roll it down, you know, go like this, you know. Of course, it's electric. So I went like this, and then I realized I don't want to roll down the window. The cop will get so fucking high, he'll forget what he's doing here, you know what I mean? So it's like, but I'm already smoking the CBD cigarette. So whatever he's smelling, he probably thinks is coming from this thing, right? I'm hoping that's what he thinks. But I'm also in the passenger seat, which is a trick I learned from getting in trouble from sitting in the driver's seat with the keys in the ignition and drinking. Even though I was not trying to drive and had the door open, the cop still gave me shit, told me give me a DUI for that shit. So forever after, I sit in the passenger seat. Anyways, so I'm like, I look up at him and I went like this. No mask and a cigarette. Like, I'm not gonna open this window.
I ain't opening the window because I don't have a mask on.
So the cop was like, "Did you see a fight around here?" And I mean, dude, I've been sitting out there for a good 20 minutes drinking and smoking. I haven't heard a fucking peep.
That is epic, dude.
You can't hear cars. You can't hear nothing out here, dude. It was beautiful. And Branson was very quiet. We hit a dead spot. So, like, there was nobody there hardly. And we had just missed spring break. And now that it's getting warm down there, I guess it's starting to rev up again. Anyways, so I hadn't heard a damn thing. And I'm like, all I saw was a bunch of flashlights going around. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, a fight. But then I'm thinking maybe that he said that to, like, because they were like, hey, somebody's out here dealing weed or something, you know, or somebody's smoking a bunch of weed, it's a bunch of people, and, like, you know what I mean? And so these cops, like, show up hot and heavy, and it's some middle-aged dude sitting in the passenger seat drinking a glass of wine. And the dude was like, hey, you seen fight around here? Like, I'm not going to mess with this dude, you know what I mean? It cracked me up. I couldn't believe it. It was a heck of a day.
You ever watch some sovereign citizen videos?
Well, I know what the sovereign citizen movement is.
So this guy got pulled over by a cop.
Right.
And
I'm traveling.
The cop asked him to roll down his window. He rolls it down that far.
Okay. I may have seen this one.
And the cop was like, sir, do you know how fast you were driving? I would rather not say. I know exactly how fast I was driving. And
I have a speedometer.
I've got a dash cam and a speedometer that both told me how fast I was driving. Well, you were going over the speed limit. You were going whatever. Well, I disagree with you. Can you roll down your window?
No, sir.
No. I like it the way it is. Why won't you roll down your window? Well, there's nothing in the law that says I have to roll down my window. I feel more comfortable with my window the way it is.
I love these videos, dude.
I'm just sitting there watching going, I can't believe this dude is like...
And it's always a white guy. You ever notice that?
Yeah, he's like...
Yeah, it's always a white guy.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, is that...
We're driving north on I-35 yesterday. We're driving north on I-35.
I have noticed that, though.
And it's like a lot of traffic. And we're like, what the heck? And we see like, police lights way up, right?
Right.
And we're in the fast lane, barely moving, like just like sitting there. And we look over, and coming up the fast lane is a truck going the wrong way, being chased by cops. There's a high-speed chase going the opposite way.
Holy smokes.
Melissa's like, whoop, between two semis. She tucks between two semis. Because this guy was like, bam, bam, knocking into cars. He has no wheel on the back.
So she gets between two semis, she's like, knock into this.
He has no wheels. Or no wheels.
Mrs. Onyx.
He has a wheel missing in the back.
Oh.
And sparks just flying.
Oh,
and he's like barely even. And Melissa's like, you're being chased by cops with one wheel missing? How far do you think you're going to get? Apparently, the guy got pretty far because he went from like 3 exits. He went in where we live. Exits are really far apart.
I guess you don't care about tearing up the damn highways. See, that's what's wrong with this country.
You know, we're from Liberty to Kearney. That distance between Liberty and Kearney.
Sure.
That's the distance he was going.
Wow.
And he like made you know, a couple accidents happening. The dude fall off a motorcycle and a whole bunch of stuff. There was a whole bunch of crap going down. Anyway, I had to mention that.
Oh.
I had to mention that because we just thought it was weird that and we didn't see what this guy looked like.
Right.
But, you know, I'm pretty sure that guy was a crackhead. I'm pretty sure there's something going on. That dude was,
I don't know, man. It takes
meth
some
or something
skill right there.
But it was a white Jeep. Okay. Like a Jeep Cherokee, almost looked like a Bronco
a white
with
supremacist.
Almost like a Bronco with a camper on it. Just saying.
Wearing one glove.
Wearing one glove. Stealing his trophies from somebody.
Phone in the other hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh gosh. Okay, so
Branson is the Bible Belt of Missouri.
Where I was at, except to
I lived and worked there. You lived and worked in Branson for 6 years?
What?
Only blue hairs think that it's the Bible Belt.
The Bible Belt of Missouri. I've lived and worked there for 6 years. Yeah, she's right in some facets. I mean, obviously she knows what she's talking about. But
Branson's not the Bible Belt. Branson's the Bible Belt buckle.
Branson has some perks though to living down there.
Does it?
Live down there, yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Conjecture.
I know.
Or fact.
This is the premature ejaculation one, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Not premature.
Oh, my bad.
Here, I'm gonna even put up here conjecture or fact. Boom. Look at that.
Semen retention or premature ejaculation. You choose.
According to legend, the Egyptian god Atum created the universe after ejaculation from masturbating.
Ha! I called it.
The flow of the Nile was also said to be connected to the number of times he ejaculated. Due to this...
people used to bathe in that? That's nasty.
Due to this, the pharaohs of ancient Egypt were required to ceremonially masturbate into the river when they became pharaoh.
Sorry, what did I do?
Or throughout the time they were pharaoh. During the Feast of Nim each year, the pharaoh, alongside the general public, would head to the shores of the Nile and perform the holy rite of masturbating into the Nile. Upon getting to the shore of the Nile, the pharaoh would remove his clothes and masturbate, ensuring that his semen fell into the Nile.
Yeah, that's important. It's got to go into the Nile.
Swimmers
need to be
Other men in the area, other men who were there, would do the same thing. They believed that the semen would enable
the original
Nile
circle jerk
to give them more blessing and plentiful harvest.
That's hilarious.
That's
the very first circle jerk.
So, and here it is depicted on a hieroglyph.
Did I ever tell you about my theory about how the Egyptian religion has hijacked?
Look.
The current Christian religion. What is that?
That's them ejaculating into the river. And this
those are onks.
No, see how they're doing?
So the onk is ejaculation?
That's the pharaoh. He's wearing a thing on his head.
Oh my gosh.
And that's his priest.
The thing coming out of the penis is an onk, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the semen.
So the onk that these people wear around their neck, that's semen?
Well, look, see these ones back here? Well, it means life.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
But look at these ones in the back.
Those ones aren't ejaculating. They just have a hard on.
You're horrible. You people are horrible.
They got blue balls.
That's
sad, yeah.
You need to do it, bro. Maybe they're waiting in line.
Everybody's doing it, bro.
Everybody's doing the ejaculation.
You stay on the bank when you ejaculate.
Come on, baby. Do the ejaculation.
You're just nobles. You're not allowed to ejaculate in the river.
So that was the song "Do the Ejaculation" with me.
I ever told you my theory about that?
That actually fits. Do the locomotion, do the ejaculation. Look, that's us.
Where? Ejaculation? What? Oh, the pictures on the side. I'm looking. I'm like, where?
That's us on the
Are
side.
we on the Egyptian wall?
No, we're not. We're on the Egyptian wall.
Where am I at, bro? I don't see me.
That's funny.
I'm the white dude,
Anyway,
right?
so the conjecture of fact was
Ejaculation into the Nile River.
Yeah, well, my deal
is an Egyptian rite.
My deal is I'm going to try to find historical things to do sometimes for the conjecture of fact, because this
I now have put that on my bucket list. I'm
this
going
right here,
to ejaculate into the Nile and become
right
Egyptian
here,
royalty.
Is considered to be
Put me in line for the throne, bro.
A historical event that is
now that my mom's not in.
What do you call it? It's a historical event that they that is under speculation, that they don't know if it actually happened, but it is what they believe is
what do you mean?
To be real.
They believe that the one god was cut into 13 parts, one of which was his penis, which was severed, and then like cut into a bunch of shards, and the chick had to go and gather up all them shards to put his penis back together so that she could have sex and then have gosh, it starts with a H. What the hell was the guy's name? God dang it.
You ever hear names of like the different Greek gods?
I got way too high.
The Roman gods, the Roman names. You have different Greek names and Greek gods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So whenever my wife and I are talking and somebody says something, I say, yeah, my stripper name was, and I would say some totally messed up name with a cleese at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of what name it was, but it was like I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway, it was
okay.
funny.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
It was funny because you said something about an H, and I was gonna say Hermaphocles.
And I keep wanting to say Hiram Abiff, but it's not Hiram Abiff.
Hiram Abiphocles?
It's Horus. Yes.
Herpicles?
Horus. That's the name of the dude, right? Horus was born from the golden penis of... I can't remember the name of the two now. This is some bullshit. My brain is not here right now.
My stripper name used to be Testicles.
Testicles.
That's funny. Okay, so
that's funny right there.
We're done with the conjecture.
All right.
Wait,
so
let's see.
Conjecture or fact?
Boom. Done.
No.
Boom. Back to this. So now, okay, we're gonna reset. Here we go.
Okay, reset.
During the second hour, which
we're 10 minutes into.
Prison Rules, Woke This Week, Comedy Horror, the Pathetic Pet of the Week, which is a surprise even to him. We got Comedy Judo, and if we got time, taking out the trash, and our closing.
We kind of did taking out the trash earlier. That's why we're 10 minutes ahead.
Sorta.
Maybe you can edit it later, Mr. Producer. Put it at the end.
Jeff, you're making me laugh out loud by myself.
Told you, you got a stalker, man. Thank you, Lori.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's what you need. We got to feed his ego.
Prison Rules. Prison. Do you like how I every week I say this exactly the same way? Prison Rules.
I don't know. I think you're trying to imply that my children have special needs.
No.
And they do, but they're not like.
Although you ever went up to somebody
and you go, spectrum.
Congratulations, you could be in the Olympics.
I recently found out that my oldest
Special
is
Olympics.
Extremely intelligent and constantly bored.
We're episode 12. What?
That's her problem. My oldest problem is she is constantly bored because she's very intelligent. She doesn't have enough to do.
Super smart.
She's like ridiculously smart, apparently.
Super smart.
And we thought Charlie was gonna be the really smart one because she has a freak memory, dude. She has a really good memory.
Well, you got two super smart ones.
Well, that's the thing. Is that intelligence because you can easily remember things? Maybe. But she just can remember shit. And when I was younger, I had that too. So hopefully she won't smoke a bunch of weed.
A good friend of mine,
and
Bob.
do a bunch of drugs and drink a whole lot of alcohol and coffee and turn out fucking retarded like me.
A good friend of mine named Bob.
Yes,
Can't
I
remember
said
to tie
it.
his, can't remember to tie his shoes.
I'm slow
You forget
or
things
hindered
all
in
the
some
time.
way.
But if you meet him in person,
Yeah.
he'll be like, oh, "Your name's Jim. Your wife's name's Sally. I met you in 1984 at the Royals game, and that was the first time that they had those commemorative
I love
cups.
those people.
And the commemorative cups had
My
it's like,
father-in-law's like
how
that.
do you remember all that stuff?
My father-in-law's like that. Or at least worth remembering people. He's
And the game that day was 54 to 2.
Quick with the story.
And so got an injury, and they had to pause for 15.8 seconds.
And you're like, hey, how many minutes is it to boil an egg if you want a hard?
I know. Nope. Did you forget to put a shirt on?
Bro,
Or are
you
you
only have one sock and one shoe, and they ain't on the same foot.
I've seen people with socks over the top of their shoes. Like they put their shoes on and then they put the socks over the top of the shoe.
Because they want to attract mud or something?
No idea.
No idea.
So you got one kid that's super smart and the other kid that's sort of smart.
Well, she's smart, but like I said, we attribute a lot of her intelligence to the fact that she can remember stuff very well. So like they're doing sight words at school, and my youngest is picking that up much faster than my oldest one. But when it comes to numbers, my oldest is quick, dude. She's quick.
You should ask her what color they are.
She kind of does algebra.
Ask her what color they are. My oldest.
What color the numbers are?
My oldest son is autistic, sorta.
The one with the collar?
Yeah. He can literally.
Yeah, because we had
math.
Christopher on last week. So
he could literally do math with
son.
no, like, not showing his work. He just sees the number and goes, "This is the answer."
Yeah.
And they were like,
I used to freak people out.
Can you show your can
yeah,
you show your
we
work?
talked about this before. Yeah.
He said, "I can show my work if you give me some crayons." Why would you need crayons? Because I see all the numbers in color, and they just become the number. And they're like, "What? Colors are numbers." Did you hear that song, by the way?
Colors are numbers?
No, the song My Kid. I sent you a link.
Yes, and like I said, for a fuck around song, that's pretty good, dude. I liked it.
Remember the keyboard that used to be up here?
Yeah, that's what he did.
He had a broken keyboard.
Yeah.
So I gave him my keyboard, and I was like, you can have this if you can use it. And he's like, okay.
I can use it.
Like a day later. That was in like one day. He wrote that shit in one day. It's like, there, I'm gonna fuck around.
Yeah, I like that though. See, the kid.
But your kid is super. Which kid is gonna be the one that's gonna be like changing the world?
Well, I'll say this: if Kaylee can get her head straight, she can really change some landscapes for herself. Really. But Charlie is a warrior poet, right? So like you put them both in, say, jiu-jitsu class, right? Charlie's always going to be smiling, but she's always going to be hitting hard, right? When it's time to smile and joke around, she'll do that. When it comes time to get focused and hit them pads and make them pop, Charlie will do that. But you throw them on the mat and be like, hey, wrestle and pin the other one down, my oldest will find a way to do that.
You like jiu-jitsu?
Oh, yeah, I told you about this, right?
Nicolas Cage did a movie called Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, God. You suck, dude. You fucking set me up. You bastard. And I should have remembered, because you mentioned it earlier.
No, yeah, I mentioned it like the other day.
No, you mentioned it earlier in the show.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay.
When you said that it was better than jiu-jitsu, or
better
it wasn't as good as jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen jiu-jitsu yet, but it wasn't.
Oh, no.
It was not jiu-jitsu.
It wasn't rated as high or something?
Yeah.
You said?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was, yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
We can go back and watch it later.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu.
So anyways, so I was going to talk about spring break, but, yeah. So there you go. That's prison rules.
Prison rules.
We changed it this week.
Prison rules.
I got one really smart, one with a super good memory, and they both have to learn some type of martial arts or self-defense, something.
That it?
Yep.
Woke this week. So I don't know if you heard about this, but
I still feel bad about breaking that down.
There are peaceful protests going on in certain parts of the world right now, and during those peaceful protests, there are these group called BLM, and they're burning down Foot Lockers,
Peacefully.
which is kind of ironic because Foot Locker donated like millions of dollars to
You mean
BLM.
like when they burnt down the Capitol?
Dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. I guess that didn't happen.
Foot Locker donated a shit tons of money to BLM. And then the people who are BLM members burned down a Foot Locker.
Is that
and looted
irony?
it.
Is that officially irony? Or
I
is
would
that
call
just
that ironic.
Hilarious.
But speaking of BLM, the lady.
So wait a minute.
Uh,
Could that be considered fraud?
I don't know.
Did they directly pay Black Lives Matter to burn them down?
Oh.
And collect the insurance money? I think they should investigate that.
Speaking of Black Lives Matter,
sorry.
The founder of BLM, who's a massive Marxist,
But
who believes that systematic racism is fraught and white supremacy is all over the place.
While spending her millions.
She spent millions of dollars to buy a house in the most white affluent neighborhood of LA. That white supremacy that's going on.
But God forbid MC Hammer and Tupac started a political
When asked
party.
about it, she said, my money is my money, and if I choose to use my money to support my family, my money and my family's money is our money, and
we live in America. Last time I checked, it's a free country.
Which is kind of funny because she's telling you that the people's money,
be a communist country.
The people's money ought to go to what
They're
the people's
all like
want to
that,
do.
dude. They're all like that. And you can say what you want to about Trump, but he did not take one penny from the American people in the form of paychecks or anything. Now, I think he did it because he didn't want to pay the taxes. But my point is, Biden's taking that money, and Biden's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's made plenty of money on all these crazy deals that he and Hunter supposedly didn't do. Okay? And then he is going back and making good on those deals. Look what he's doing for Ukraine and China right now.
Yeah. Craziness.
I say he, but who knows who's really running this place, man. I feel like
there was so much that went on this week that I don't have. I had a list of woke this week.
It's a rudderless chaos ship.
Those are the only two that I could remember.
Which two?
The woke this week. Those are the only two things I can remember. From I wrote a list. I can't find the list. Those two topics.
What's hot? We did
Foot Locker and the Marxist lady buying property. Those two things.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Craziness. So yeah. Anyway. Something about Georgia.
Well, I am so glad that you brought this section in. Because this is kind of stuff that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I like talking about my wife and kids because it's married with comedy. I feel like we got to do that. And your kids are grown. So the last thing you want to talk about is your kids.
But isn't this the second round of peaceful protests in Minneapolis? Isn't it Peaceful Protest 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Okay, so we can tie this into taking out the trash. We were talking about the masks earlier.
Everything is Electric Boogaloo to me. Minimum wage. Is that a woke this week thing?
That's what it was.
Minimum wage.
Minimum wage. The minimum wage for American hardworking people is $9.45.
$9.45.
Everybody stand up and clap. Let's do a round of applause.
Yay,
right there.
$9.45.
The the same form?
Yes.
Yeah. Right next to it on the same website, they put it in Spanish. Identical form, but you read it in Spanish. And in Spanish, the minimum wage was $10.30. 85 cents more.
Huh.
Now, I would say, wow, is that in pesos? But I know that pesos are like a fifth of a dollar. Maybe less now, I don't know. But not much. So, yeah, it wouldn't be because it's pesos.
You can't even buy a fifth with the pesos.
No,
it's like $15 for a fifth.
You can't buy pesos with the pesos. Okay, so
that was an alcohol joke.
Excuse me. So, minimum wage for some reason, if you can read Spanish, is $10.30. And I remember thinking, wonder if you're bilingual. What's your minimum wage? They didn't have one for that. So for woke this week, yeah, okay. So I guess now if you're Hispanic, you get paid more money.
Jace.
Who thinks that's fair?
I think it's fair. I go do it. Because I am undocumented.
Because they don't count their paycheck.
My name is Jefe Hernandez. Jefe Hernandez. I will collect my money. Thank you. Put me up in hotel.
No taxes, please.
Hotel.
That's why, because they don't pay taxes. The company doesn't have to pay them.
You know, I went to the doctor recently, and the nurse was taking my weight, and she said it in kilos. She said my weight in kilos, and I said, well, that's odd that you're saying my weight in kilos.
10 kilos.
She said, yes. I said, is that for for you guys to like convert it into medications and stuff? No. It's to know how much you're worth on the black market.
No, sir.
We're going through traffic or body.
We are weighing your liver.
We are weighing.
What? What?
I don't weigh 20 kilos. No, we will trade you for 20 kilos of cocaine.
20 kilos. Ain't that like 44 pounds?
Hey, but if they're selling me for 20 kilos, you know what else will cost 20 kilos? A 2x4. Because the construction prices have gone up. Have you noticed that?
I have not. I haven't built anything in a while.
Construction prices have gone up.
Well, that's sad, isn't it?
Construction materials.
Well, look, here's what I'll say to you. Somebody asked me today what I thought of Trump.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm not sure. She was like, you like him, don't you? I'm like, ma'am, he's been out of office for a year. You know, come on. I don't know what to say. So, anyways, I was like, well, I don't know if I like the guy, but certainly everything he said came true. Everything except the country crashing, but we got 3.5 years left of this. Can you believe that? It feels like we've been at it for half of a normal presidential cycle, maybe. Yeah. And it ain't even been 6 months yet. What is going on?
The progress of destroying the country has been accelerated recently.
Yeah. And of course,
and
they stopped building the fence in Mexico and took the materials and put them around the Capitol.
But Texas is like, hey, we're not going to stop building this fence.
I like that.
We're not going to stop building the wall. Texas is like, we're still going.
Get them.
They're building it.
Get them. They should take all that money that they got back from all the electricity that they paid for, that they got money back from.
Yeah, electricity.
What did your wife say?
What? That's not my wife. That's Lori.
Oh.
I can't laugh at anything Jeff says because James will call me a stalker.
Well, you can laugh. You can't write it
inappropriate
all the time.
Hey, comedy horror.
Oh.
No. Homeless veterans don't get any money in New York, but in New York, illegal aliens do. Did you know that?
No.
They're paying.
What do you mean get them?
They're paying undocumented aliens money and giving them free hotel rooms. But homeless veterans, no, because they're busing people from the border to other towns and giving them free hotel rooms and giving them money.
That's crazy.
Because when you're staying in a free hotel room, you got to be able to eat.
Yeah, I mean you can't.
But if you're a homeless veteran,
hotel room for free and then not feed them.
You're not allowed to have it. Are you getting my cookies?
Your cookies.
Are you getting the water?
What cookies?
What are you doing?
What cookies, man?
You know, Jay just left the studio.
Wait a minute.
To go get water. See, this is supposed to be his segment too. It's like comedy horror is Jay's segment.
And she's got the bag of cookies in front of her. She's like, what cookies?
Comedy horrors.
What cookies?
See, Melissa? I told you we're going to eat these cookies. I'm not bringing any home. Yeah. Anyway, this is his segment, and he decides to walk out in the middle of it.
I'm a comedy whore. What can I say? Excuse me.
These are like the best, dude.
I know, right? And they're from Mother's. Oh. Top down.
It's Danzig's favorite cookie.
Oh, God.
Mother's.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were being serious. I was like, oh, no, I'm going to be possessed by a cookie.
Yeah.
Just like that movie Hereditary. That was the other one I was going to do. I'll do that one next week. Okay, so comedy horror. Yeah. Okay, done.
You should write
Ding.
You should write your shit down so you don't forget it.
Ding. Your turn.
Pathetic pet of the week.
What?
Let's see.
Athena guy.
Here we go. The pathetic pet of the week this week is... Alright, let me put up pathetic pet of the week on there.
I like that.
Oh. Pathetic pet of the week this week is Elvis Pigsley. This is Elvis Pigsley. Elvis Pigsley.
You want a potbelly pig, honey?
Elvis Pigsley is very fond of peanut butter banana sandwiches.
Fried, of course.
Elvis Pigsley is a potbelly pig, and he's a potbelly pig. He's in Brownsburg, Indiana.
Do they deliver?
Adult, male, large. Meet Elvis Pigsley. Elvis is a 5-year-old neutered male seeking his forever home. Elvis came to us after being dumped in a field. He ran loose for a couple of months before someone was able to catch him and bring him to us.
Aww.
Elvis is low maintenance and is very laid back. Boy, I'm adding words in there that aren't even there.
I know, weird.
It takes him a minute to warm up and become comfortable with new people. Elvis is also bonded with Coda and Grizz, the two other neutered adult male pigs. If they're adult male pigs and they're neutered, okay, whatever.
I don't know.
Doesn't it look like that? Doesn't it look like that cat is like chewing on something? Chewing on the edge of that?
Yeah, a little bit.
What? I don't know how long they live. If you're interested in adopting, please fill out the application at Oink.
Be advised, though, I think pigs live for a long time. You might be in for a long-term relationship
Oinking
here.
Acres. Oinkingacres.org/adopt.
It's a pot belly, so maybe it's different. I don't know.
Oinking Acres.
I thought I remember pigs living like 20, 30 years or something.
Look.
You know, dear?
Yeah, the neighbor's potbelly pig lived for like 22 years, I think, and it stunk.
If you want to get this guy, fatten him up until next Easter.
You said till next Easter.
So,
y'all eat pork on Easter?
Sometimes. This time we had steak. Because nothing says, you can have the rest. Nothing says praise my Savior like a nice Kansas City strip steak.
Yeah, sacrificing a cow.
My wife asked me,
how they used to do it back then.
What's the difference between
It's gotta
Kansas
be kosher, though, bro.
What's the difference between a Kansas City strip and a New York strip? I said, well, one is
2 inches.
One is in Kansas City and one's in New York. It's the same cut. Isn't it? It's the same steak.
Sort of.
That's like going to the Texas Roadhouse and you get the Texas whatever it is. And it's like, all that is a bigger piece of meat than you would get at another restaurant. And then they still charge you extra for it. It's not like you're getting anything
Well,
extra.
you're getting a big... Oh, no mind. Thanks for the water, man. I needed it. My throat was getting a little bit rough.
James, I really did get you a belt. I just don't know how to get it to you. Well, you should come to the studio sometime.
Aw, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna
Actually,
stalk the guy.
We're I'm gonna be in Overland Park.
Sorry, Lori, I couldn't resist. That was.
I'm gonna be in Overland
I
Park
apologize
tomorrow.
for that right there.
119th and Metcalf. Are you laughing? Good, tell her where I'm gonna be. 119th and Metcalf at Price Chopper in Overland Park.
Come stalk me, please.
Come on, say hi. Huh?
Well,
Kids
I
these
take
days.
it back, Lori. Obviously, you are not stalking. If he's giving you his location.
So, hey,
And
love.
now it's on tape.
Yeah.
So,
If my lovely wife would send me the
please,
picture.
can we do the comedy judo? Hot. Excuse me. Those are good cookies, but oh boy.
They are gone.
Very sweet. Very sweet.
You know, that's it. I'll with those cookies, I'll sit down with a nice cup of black decaf coffee
Mm-hmm.
and eat those with the decaf coffee with no sugar or anything in it. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. I can't drink decaf coffee though. It's like
Okay, decaf tea.
maybe, yeah, some kind of decaf tea maybe, but decaf coffee. Oh,
Dude, my favorite kind of coffee is cowboy coffee. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with this?
yeah, we've talked about it on the show.
Oh,
I
I
think.
like cowboy coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy coffee, good.
You gotta be careful with it. That cowboy coffee, boy.
Oh, she already sent it.
Oh,
Thank you, darling.
that's a good one.
So I'm gonna switch to the.
All right.
You know what I didn't do?
Man. We got time. We had to kind of skip comedy horror. I was gonna drag the wife in here, but she's busy.
You did not skip it.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Really?
You said something about it. You were like, I went to go get water because I'm a comedy whore.
No, that's it. I just love the segment. All right. Ex-pimp, homeless and whoreless.
Wait, they don't see it. Hold on, they don't see it
That's
yet.
hilarious.
Hold on, they don't see it. Let's do the right side, and we're gonna do.
Music.
I forgot to put in the text. Oh no.
No.
Text. Where is it? Did I not make it?
No. I don't think you did.
I'm just gonna make it. Hey, you guys are watching.
Judo chop.
Dude, I had everything going except for this one thing. So I think
Listen,
today's.
Mr. Producer, you did pretty good, man. I don't care what everybody says about you. Did pretty good. And I
Oh.
think Lori would agree with me.
Comedy judo. Today's comedy judo.
That's a great outfit, dude. That is not a pimp outfit. That's hilarious. Okay.
Pimp lives matter.
Yeah,
Is that
you didn't
real?
See that? I don't think so.
And there's a cop car in the background.
Mm-hmm. It's in it too, right? Cop or security, but yeah, I mean, it looks like a cop car without the lights.
I think it has lights. I just can't see it very well. Here, I need a pen. I need a pen.
Oh, did I take your pen?
I don't know.
Sure, I think so.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play our theme song, our new theme song, while we do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we doing? No music?
Yeah.
At all?
You can't hear it because you got headphones.
That's right.
Boom. Boom. Oh, no.
All right.
Okay. Boom.
Am I going first?
Sure.
Okay, so I did a caption and a joke, right? I put a pimp named Tommy Chong for the caption instead of pimp named Slickback. Pimp named Tommy Chong. You gotta say
Tommy
the whole
Chong.
thing.
Ah.
you gotta say the thing. And then for my joke, I put it's hard out here for a pimp during a pandemic. My bottom bitch got COVID, and my new bitch got herpes. Now I got no bitches. That was my joke.
Okay. My joke was I got a friend of mine who's really, really hardcore into supporting unions and unionizing of a whole lot of things. But he's also a pimp, and recently all of his whores unionized. So he's left sitting on the corner begging for money because his bitches ain't bringing him no money no more. He should become a union boss.
Steward.
He should become a union boss.
Steward.
Union boss.
All right.
Boom.
Boom.
Steward. What's a union steward?
Union steward's the guy that's elected by all the union people.
Really? Is that what they call that?
To speak for them. So now you know why that's funny. Sorry.
A steward.
Union steward.
Guess what?
Steward
Guess
for
what?
a while,
Guess what?
So. What?
We're like
Way ahead?
way ahead, dude.
Are we?
We're way
Why are we way ahead? Now we can take out the
Because
trash.
you skipped half of your shit.
I didn't skip
You're
half
like,
of my
I'm gonna
shit.
skip my shit.
I skipped comedy whore.
Skip my shit.
But I skipped comedy whore
And taking out the
my
trash,
wife is busy.
and then like so we could just jump to the closer if you want. Or you got to taking out the
What?
trash?
We can take out trash. I don't know.
Get you some taking out the trash.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know your
serves you right. Let's do taking out the trash on America. America. Let's do it on America. What is wrong with you people? Like that lady asking me today what I thought of Trump. I don't care what anybody thinks of Trump. You can say what you want to say. But it turns out he was right. You know they're talking about Russian collusion in the 2020 election? Did you know they're talking about that too? On top of the 2016?
They're talking about Russian collusion?
In the 2020 election. How is that even possible that you can't mention it on any platform if you're Donald Trump? Saying that, there was some dysfunction, which there was. There was dysfunction. And you can say it wasn't enough to overturn the election, but then I would say all these instances have to add up to something. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it.
There's a lot of stuff you're not allowed to say on the platforms.
Right, but it turns out you can say that someone interfered with the election as long as you say it was Russia. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how they could say it about 2016, and now supposedly they're saying it about 2020. Russia and was it Iran? Maybe it was Russia and Iran. I don't understand. So can you interfere in the election or not? If it was the most secure election in history, how come we're finding out that other people were playing around in there? And if you want to say something else, let me say this to you. Don't forget that all the results were sent overseas to be tabulated. Why would you even do that? That makes no flipping sense whatsoever. And then you're going to get mad at Italy for letting them let out the COVID and whatnot. But then you're going to let them what? Tabulate our results? What if Italy doesn't like the guy who was elected? I don't understand people, man. So my taking out the trash is on America. And all the stuff that Trump told us was going to happen if we did not elect him, which I think we did, but all the stuff that he told us would happen if Biden went into office is coming true.
Can you name anything that the federal government does that is a major thing that you can do without an ID?
Well, that's what we talked about this last week.
You
Was
have
that they interviewed
everything.
a bunch of white people and was like, "Is it racist to require an ID?" And all these white people that they played, so it may not have been all the white people, but the ones that they played, all these white people were like, "Yeah, it's terrible. These people don't know." And then they interviewed a bunch of black people, and all the black people not only said that's not racist, every last one of them had their ID on them. Every last one of the people that were interviewed had their ID. Every last black person, because you have to have your ID on you at all times, and all of them were saying that. So then I was like, okay, so who's really being racist here? Is it the people who are changing the election laws to make sure that you have to verify who you are when you vote for the president of the United States of America?
Let me tell you something. Okay.
Than to say that any group of people are too ignorant to get an ID, but that it's okay for them to vote for the president doesn't make sense to me either.
When I was little, we grew up, you know, as a
Very sensitive.
family of a migrant worker, we grew up in the Hispanic community, if we would say, the undocumented Hispanic community, if you want to say. Okay.
Jeff was an undocumented worker.
So when I was old enough old enough to actually get a legal job, because up to then I was working in the field with my dad whenever I could, picking strawberries or picking pecans or picking whatever. So I would work with my dad because that's extra money, right?
So your real last name really is Hernandez.
So
you motherfucker, you.
So when I got my first real job is working at McDonald's. And I didn't know anything about IDs, didn't know anything about cashing checks. I got my first check, and I'm like, awesome, I got a check. I went to go cash it, and they're like, you have to have a photo ID. I'm like, I don't know. This is back in the 80s.
Okay, right.
You need to get a photo ID to cash this.
Yeah, they didn't know any better back then. You don't need an ID to cash a check. That's stupid.
So I went back to the place I was living in.
Sign it. They should know.
There were five families. I lived with 5 families.
Oh gosh,
they were all
funny.
Mexicans.
That's funny because we had a Mexican family that lived across.
I go in there
the
with my
street.
paycheck, and I'm like, I can't cash my paycheck.
Years.
They're like, why can't you cash your paycheck? I was like, because I don't have ID. They go, nah, man, we got you. It's like, what do you mean you got me? They're like, come on, man, let's go. So we went to this meat market place.
Nuh-uh.
And there was a dude at the meat market place, and he said, okay, I'm going to take your picture. He goes, here's a photo ID. The photo ID at the top of it said meat market and check cashing, and had my photo on there with my signature and my address and all that stuff, and a check cashing number. Right? And the guy would charge like 10% to cash your check. But it was an illegal. Sorry.
I'm trying
It
to
was an
figure this
illegal
out.
alien ID for people who couldn't get actual IDs in the United States to cash their paycheck. So all these people that I lived with.
Jeff was born in America but had a green card.
It was a check cashing ID.
I know.
So this check cashing ID was basically only good at that place. And he had you have your picture on it, right?
Yeah.
So that he can know you are the person
Right.
to attach to this check, right? So all my Mexican friends on payday would go there with their paychecks.
And this dude would get 10% of
And he would get 10% of everybody's paycheck.
Can you
to
imagine
cash
how
check.
much money he made?
And he would just cash them checks like no big deal. Like he didn't care if you were legal, illegal, if that was even you. And some of these
obviously
dudes,
he cared if it was you, if you had the picture on there, and he's the one taking the picture. So
my friend Bernardo, his check said Bernie something else. It was some other name, right? It wasn't even his name, because what he did was he got somebody's birth certificate and social security number. Bernie somebody, their social security number. It wasn't his name was Bernardo, so he can get away with being called Bernie, right?
Right. Okay.
So his check was made out to Bernie whoever.
Bernie whoever.
What I can't
That's a
remember the
weird
name. I
name.
can't remember the last name. Anyway, so he would go
Whoever.
cash his check, but we all knew that wasn't him. He had so whoever, like, they would just make up social security numbers so they could get paid. And when the employer figured it out, it would take them like a year, because when they started doing the tax paperwork, they'd figure out that person wasn't the person. They would fire them. And you know what they would do?
You're
They'd
gonna
go
drive
from
somewhere else.
they would go from McDonald's to Burger King.
Uh-uh.
And so we all worked at different fast food, like I worked at like 5 different fast food restaurants because I would follow my friends to the other fast food restaurants. But I didn't have an actual legal ID until I was like 20. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 20.
You still know those people?
I actually do.
My wife said, "You still know those people?" All right.
I actually know a
So-
couple of those people still
Yeah, I was gonna
from
say,
back in the 80s.
well, you're Mexican, man. You're Mexican for life, bruh.
So those dudes
Yeah.
were like cool and everything. So anyway, so we were talking about IDs, all right?
That's so
If
funny,
these
dude.
dudes back then could
Motherfuckers,
make up
bro.
identities and stuff, and they could get checks or whatever, I'm pretty sure that you could go down. And that's the trippy thing. I found out that I could have just gone down to the library and gotten a legal state-issued photo ID for free.
Yeah.
All I would have had to do is go to the library, and they also had them at the
back then,
they also had them at the driver's license place,
Yeah.
DMV or whatever. So you could go there and you get a legal ID. It was like $5, something like that. You know how much money I could have saved if I would just paid that $5 for that ID? And if you said you're financially hardship, if you have financial hardship, they give it to you for free. I didn't know that. Had I known that, dude, I would have had an ID a lot sooner than that. But for people to say they can't get an ID, it's like, dude, you know, if you have to have an ID,
That's what
to
I'm
vote-
saying to you,
wait, wait.
bro. That's not what's happening. People are not saying I can't get an ID.
no, if
The media is saying that it's racist to require an
Check
ID
it.
because people of
here's a little secret.
of other than white ethnicities
I got a secret for you.
can't get one. Don't have the knowledge or the intelligence
You know-
or the wherewithal. You fucking kidding me?
You know the places where they issue
Sorry.
state.
I know you're saying the same thing, by the way. I just
You know the places where they issue you a state-issued ID? You go there and you know what they do while you get your ID? They register you to vote. You get the ID and you register to vote at the same time. When you go get a
When is that?
if
That
you,
never happened.
If you go get a driver's license or you get an ID, they actually ask you, would you like to register to vote?
They do, yeah.
Right then and there. So
I
you
do
go,
not, but yes, they.
I could get an ID and register to vote in the same place?
Duh, because
Yeah.
you would use the same ID.
You know who doesn't
to
know that?
register to vote.
You know who doesn't know that? The media, probably.
They know that.
They know that.
Jeff. They listen.
You know who do
the
know,
people who report this stuff know. They know this information. They could not be where they're at without that knowledge. The thing is they also know they cannot report these things. And what has happened here is a group of people who are not reporters or any type of news channel or media has clamped down on information, whether or not it's truthful or otherwise, is for them to decide.
Yeah.
And the funny part is there's been talk that they should be treated as utilities or whatever, so they can be held to some legal standard.
Yeah.
The internet is not a utility. Okay, I understand what they're doing there, and that's trouble in itself. They're more like a newspaper.
Yeah.
It should be treated like a newspaper.
Either it's a newspaper or it's a public forum. It
And
can't be both.
Right.
It's either a publisher
Yes.
or a public forum.
Thank you.
If it's a publisher,
Thank you.
then it has to follow
like
the rules
this.
of a
See?
publisher.
He knows all the technical
If it's a public
shit.
forum, then it has to follow the rules of a public forum.
Yes.
But what they're doing is they're
They're
riding
dancing,
that line
yeah, they're dancing
between
around.
public forum and
and then trying to
publisher.
get some kind of false argument about whether or not it should be treated like a Kansas City Power and Light.
if you make decisions about
No.
what content you have going on in your thing, you're a publisher.
Hello. And that's the other thing, yeah. They're not providing energy or providing something that is necessity of a sort.
Lori said she didn't even know until recently that there's a such thing as a real ID.
Oh, well, that started back with Bush, when Bush was
The
president,
Real ID.
the Real ID Act. So, I mean, that goes back a bit, but so does Nazara. I mean, there's talk that Nazara is going to come out now. It's not.
10 minutes.
Nazara's not going to come out at all. Biden would, and no one in his cabinet would ever sign that.
Did you hear the
Trump
project?
would have had to sign the Nazara Act before he left office.
Did you hear the guy from Project Veritas got kicked off of Twitter?
That doesn't surprise me.
Do you know why he got kicked off the Twitter? Because he talked
hate
about that.
speech.
He talked about that chick who was Black Lives Matter. That he was. He said, well, she bought this house in this affluent neighborhood,
Hello.
and showed a picture of the house from Zillow.
Oh my gosh! So now they're gonna attack her house. Oh wait, it's Black Lives Matter.
So they're
never
saying
mind.
that he doxed her, but they didn't kick off anybody who put the name, address, and phone number of that cop in Minneapolis.
Nope. Well, you and I already know that the hypocrisy, to me, it's intentional.
Or sorry,
That
Minnesota,
the
whatever.
Hypocrisy is there. I believe it's intentional. I believe they are trying to erode the moral compass of this country.
There's
Trying
two words
trying to just crush it.
that start with hype, because it's all hype. Okay.
Two words to start.
Two
with.
words that start with hype
Hype train.
that the
Oh.
media is going down with. Okay, so hypocrite has hype in the front of it, and hyperbole.
Oh yes.
Both
That's
of
very
those
Good.
Both of those match
Hypocrisy
what's
and
going on.
hyperbole.
Because it's all a bunch of hype, yo. They should just get Flava Flav with his clock to go out there and hype up the crowd before they come out and lie to people, because people might believe it a little bit more.
Yo. With his little head bop.
Why do I know that?
I don't know.
Bring the
Public
noise.
Enemy? Yeah, bring the noise. Well, and I watched In Living Color, and Public Enemy was on there a couple times. So he'd come out there.
That band never.
With
You know,
the big old freaking thing on his
why
neck.
did that band never
Idiot.
get big?
Yeah.
Living Color? Why did they not get? You know what I'm talking about?
I do. He had a good guitar player.
Why did they not get really, really big?
I don't know, man. Whatever happens to bands, bro? You know? I don't know. That's funny.
So the dude from Living Color, right? He's like singing, right? And everybody's like,
Living Color. Oh,
no,
wait. Sorry,
the band.
that's the show. My bad.
So everybody's like, they mixed up the song "You Want It Out," Cult of Personality. They mixed Cult of Personality with some other song. Which one was it?
I think they
They're
were on In Living
two different
Color,
bands.
too, as well.
Two different bands that sounded alike. One was a band with white dudes in it, and one was a band with black dudes in it. And they both went away. Isn't that weird?
Interesting. It's a little weird, especially when you think.
Speaking of
the
bands with
cult
black
of
dudes in it, my
personality.
friend Steve Stedham from Stedham Skate Industries. Stedham's has the Stedham shoes, which I'm wearing right now. Stedham's.
Okay.
He's on tour right now with Freight Train not Freight Train, Funkenstein.
Funkenstein.
His band Funkenstein is touring. So if you want to find out more about Steve Stedham and Funkenstein, do a Google search for Funkenstein and see what's going on with Funkenstein. Funkenstein. I thought it was Freight Train. He's got like five.
Freight Train.
This dude's got like 5 or 6 companies and 5 or 6 bands that he's like the lead guy in all these bands. I'll name 3 of them: Funkenstein, Freight Train.
Sounds like Maynard.
There was another one: Funkenstein, Freight Train, and something.
Freight
Never mind.
Train?
I can't name them all.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
man. I think we had a pretty good show.
7
Got a
minutes.
little off kilter there.
We didn't get off nothing. You know why we didn't get off nothing? Because we planned the show, even if some of these go short. Hey, what'd you think of that conjecture or fact today?
I liked the conjecture or fact today.
It was very historical. Today's show was very historical. Today's show was brought to you by the word hype.
The Hippocratic Oath.
Okay, so we got time for this.
Do we?
Actual word of the day today is lollygag.
Lollygag is the word of the day.
Lollygag is the word of the day. Did you know the word lollygag actually it's a derivative of a term for laziness, or it's 'cause little kids used to run around.
Slang.
Little kids used to run around and they'd be like all hyper and they wouldn't pay attention to what they were doing. Okay. And they would have a lollipop in their mouth.
Nuh-uh.
And if they tripped and fell with a lollipop in their mouth, they would choke on it.
Bullshitting you guys, just so you know.
So lollygag was actually really. Lollygagging was that you're horsing around with a lollipop in your mouth and you're going to trip and fall and gag on it if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. So quit your lollygagging. They would say quit your lollygagging because they didn't want you to do something
I'm
stupid.
gonna have to look this shit up just
No,
because
that's
I know how
true.
you are too,
That's
dude.
true. Lollygag.
See, this should have been on Conjecture or Fact.
Lollygag.
Lollygag should have been on Conjecture or Fact because the way you presented it, I mean, it's obviously fact.
Conjecture or fact?
The Egyptians ejaculating in the Nile, that's obvious fact. That's
No, this one is too.
how life was
Lollygag.
started.
Lollygag. I'm telling you, lollygag. If you're horsing around with just goofing off.
Yep.
If you're goofing off,
I'll take your word for it, sir.
they would say quit your lollygagging because they didn't want you to goof off to the point that you fell and choked yourself with a lollipop because little kids used to run around with a lollipop in their mouth. They'd run around and they would trip and fall and they would gag themselves with a lollipop.
Okay.
How many little kids do you think died from that back in the day? Probably the same amount that licked the lead off of stuff and died from licking lead paint, eating lead paint and stuff.
I wonder how many were said to have died from lollygagging, but actually died from the lead paint. Did
you know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Some of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are the dolls, the little action figures, are very rare because they destroyed most of them. The certain line of them had lead in their feet so they could stand up, and the lead in their feet they were recalled because the lead in the feet. So now they're worth a lot of money. Because the lead in their feet would harm you. Children would chew on the feet of these dolls and apparently get lead poisoning from chewing on their feet. You ever chew the wood off of a pencil until you got it under the lead? No. I used to do that all the time. And then I found out those pencils aren't made of lead, made of graphite. I was like, dang. Boy, somebody flushed the toilet. You think that's your old lady? Somebody flushed the toilet upstairs.
I know, I heard it.
Anyway.
Well, I don't think it was my old lady because you would have heard thump, 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 thump.
Thump, 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 thump. So we have
this big old.
You want to end early? 2 minutes early?
We can end 2 minutes early, man. 2 and 2, baby.
Well, let me
Just
read.
like was it Love Connection or was it Dating Game? I can't remember which one. Be back in 2 and 2. Chuck
Love
Woolery.
Connection.
Yeah, Love Connection. I thought. Yeah.
You've been listening to Married with Comedy with your hosts James R. Freeman and Jeff Onyx. See you next week when we face such topics as racial injustice and social social
warriors.
distancing. Yeah.
It'd be okay. Go make some dinner while I watch this fishing show. I taped it over our old wedding video. If you're
Well, now everything.
a man who done